I choose this career to be a lecturer. One thing because I like to share things that I learn with people. The second thing is, I think this is a good way to preach the Dharma as well. So even in my lesson, even in my working time, I involve a lot of involved in these Buddhism activities a lot. I used to bring students to these charity homes like mental hospital or mental disabled centers, orphanage homes, old folks, blind center, etc., monasteries. So bringing these students to these places, there is of a good lesson for them in life. Now said about this mental disabled center, we've been to this most serious mental disabled center in Malaysia. So once you step into this center, you can presume that you are entering a zoo, an animal zoo, because you will hear sound that is not human sound, but the sound comes from human. The human sounds like animals, and you can smell a great smell of the urine, etc. Some students even vomit because of these situations. So these people, they might be 30 years old, 40 years old, but they are lying on the cradle, and their body is very small. Some of them, half of their body is the head, the other body is the legs and hands, I mean the other part. Some of them give out a kind of very funny sound like ghost sounds. Some of them, they have to chain them up, otherwise they are hyperactive. They will put the hand into their mouth and eat it up to the wrist, and when they put it out, all blood on the hand, cuts, bitten. Most serious part is there is one section where male and females were separated. These people, they consider them as no thinking mind as human, so they act like animals. They were put into a cage. Then they don't walk. I noticed that they don't walk mostly. They crawl. So they can't wear anything because they might use their clothes to fight their friend or commit suicide, etc. So they're playing with all the sheets and urine and all these things. So when these students, they went and see these scenes, they have kind of a very great lesson in their life. So we teach them how you should appreciate what you have now, and also how you show your compassion to them. This is a very good lesson. We don't see it every day outside the world, but only when we organize this kind of trip. Another story is we go to this blind center. When a student, he noticed a blind man, how he read the braille. So he took quite a long time to read one sentence of the magazine. Then suddenly this student ran to me and said, "Sir, later when I go back to college, I have to study hard." I said, "Why?" "That blind man, so difficult. Study for one line using 5 minutes. I don't need to use 5 minutes to finish one page, but still I'm lazy to study." Oh, so I said, good, you have this kind of realizations, then you go back, you have to study. So this is the effect that we like, because people used to take for granted and not to appreciate what they have only when they lose it. So when they see people outside who is very unlucky, then they know how they should appreciate themselves.